Hello and welcome to MGP515. I'm Kev, and with me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello, hello, hello.
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 Hello, one and all.
Hello.
I was going to say, Pab, I'm glad you did the second lap. I was trying to get a second lap going.
I was going to say it, but you
these
interrupted.
two really not up to it.
You interrupted very quickly there. You didn't give us a chance.
Well, Pab leapt on it. He knew what I wanted, as he always does. I didn't think I was going to be on the podcast this week, boys and girls. 20 minutes ago, I was rolling around on my bed in pain with hopefully my last ever gallstone attack, because I've got my surgery on Monday, so I won't be on next week's, I imagine. Probably, maybe. I don't know. I wish I knew someone who'd had this surgery who could tell me what to expect in my recovery, but alas, I do not. So, yeah, I might not be here next week, boys and girls, but I didn't think I'd be here this week.
Someone go back through the archives and see whether I turned up.
You, every now and again, you mention you've had this surgery. I have no memory of you ever having any surgery or any kind of gallbladder problems. Does anyone else remember this?
No.
I mean, I didn't make as much of a song and dance about it as you.
I think you would have said, I'm having a surgery.
Do you remember that whole period where I thought I had damaged ribs?
What, uni?
Because I fell down the stairs. Yeah, that was actually my gallbladder, it turned out.
Oh, God, that was like over 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, I had the operation like 8 years ago. Probably. Give or take.
So we weren't even doing the podcast then, were we?
We were, yeah. We've been doing this podcast
that was
too
at
long
that house you were at in Peterborough, though, wasn't it, where you fell down the stairs?
Yeah, yeah. And then
the podcast started years after that.
No, a year later, I was still going to the doctors about my sore ribs, and I think another 9 months after that, they were like, let's actually have a look and see what's going on here, because ribs shouldn't hurt this long. And then they were like, oh, your gallbladder needs to come out. And then it went on and on like that for ages. But yeah, I didn't make as much of a song and dance about it as you do. I
remember you moaning about your ribs a lot.
Yeah. But the op was easy, let's say. Easy peasy. Just
easy enough for me to just do it myself from home, do you reckon?
I could probably do it. I could probably give it a bash. I know where all the holes go. And I know what
I
to start
figure,
afterwards.
when you get like a big box of fidget toys, and in there there's like the jelly one that has loads of little balls inside, and when you mush the jelly around, the little balls will move around inside of it. I assume it looks like that at this point, and you just grab that and yank it out. It's so full of stones.
Don't do this Sunday night like I did the day before my op, but I watched an op on YouTube just to see what I was in for. And I'm kind of confused as to what it's particularly attached to normally. The way they sliced it off the side of everything, I was like, oh,
I think it's attached to the liver, isn't it?
Yeah, but it looked like they just sort of sliced it off the liver and lobbed it in a bin and sewed it back.
I think that's what I've signed up for. What you've just described, I think, is what is supposed to happen.
But I always imagine it being like a series of tubes, and I have to like close a tube up and all of this stuff. But no, it was just like they, I don't know, whopped it off.
I assume it just goes via osmosis. It's just bile oozes out of it, doesn't it?
Pretty
much. That's all it is.
So it's all just going to ooze into
tubes necessarily.
Yeah. It'll just ooze around on its own now. But yeah, no. You just catching up. You'll be bald in 4 years' time. You're just catching all the
I am a hat guy now, so I'm ready to go bald at this point. I've started wearing hats, so as far as I'm concerned, the only reason to wear a hat is that you're bald, and I'm just getting ready for it. I look at everyone else in my family and think I am very much on borrowed time. I have an incredible hairline for a 40-year-old, but there's no way I'm going to have this hairline at 50, because I am definitely an anomaly as far as the Chapman clan are concerned when it comes to the amount of hair that I've got. Perhaps it's just because I was the one always destined to be an internet celebrity, so I had to have a good hairline.
I think everybody listening needs to just shout boo at you every time they see you now, in the hope that they startle you enough that your hair just falls out.
That's why my hair always stands on end, because people do that anyway. My one worry, though, is that I go bald before I've had a good period of just being grey. I want to be grey all over for a few years and then bald.
Apparently being frightened can make your hair go grey as well. My mum tells me that that's how my granddad's hair went grey. The way she tells me the story, it's like he went upstairs, got a fright and came down grey. And I'm really not sure
I think there is something to that. My, the little blotches of white that I've got all over my head and my beard and everywhere, all the little white bits of hair, they all happened around about the time my granddad died when I was like 15, 16.
Weird.
He died, and then the next time I went to the barbers, they were like, "What's all this white stuff all over your head?" I don't know. So I don't think that was always there. I think that was probably shocked into me.
Or you were standing downwind and they sprinkled his ashes and you just haven't washed your hair.
I mean, you know, I don't wash my hair or brush my hair. It's the way I've managed to keep such excellent hair for so long. I've not brushed my hair this century. I use shampoo probably less than you do.
You prefer real poo.
Exactly. How's everybody else, though? Are we all good? Have we all had a delightful week? Pab's talking to us again?
Yes.
Pab
Yes.
fell out with us this week, Sheepdog.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this?
Intentionally.
Pab
No.
shunned me for 5 days.
What? I don't understand.
We've been playing Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is a wonderful video game that we will talk about probably in a moment. And the first thing I did when I got the early access as part of having whatever is it the Ultimate Edition? Is that what it's called? The one that got us early access this time last week. First thing I did was set up the usual MGP clan. So if anyone wants to join the MGP clan on Diablo 4, all you have to do is search for MGP or search for Mature Gamer. Either of them should bring you to our clan, and you can then join it. So I set up the clan and invited Anna and Pab and a few other people who were still on my friends list, names from the distant past, from when I was playing Diablo 3 when that first came out. If Jay Penguin is still listening and wants to join the clan, you've not accepted your invite either. But I sent Pabby a little invite to join the clan, and then he didn't do it. And every day when I went on the game, because me and Anna have been playing this every night this week, every night I'd go on there. The first thing I'd do is go on the clan to have a look at the outstanding invites and see, oh, look, Pab's invite is still outstanding. And Anna would be like, he's probably playing with someone else. He probably doesn't want to play with you anymore. And she was making me feel like Pab had rejected me. I thought he'd found new people to play Diablo with, and it turns out he just didn't know the clan feature was in there because he's an old man who doesn't read the instructions.
I saw it, but I never went onto that tab because I was like, well, I don't know. I imagine at some point...
I don't want to play with Kev. That's what you were thinking. I want to avoid him. I know he'll have set up a clan because he always does. Every time there's a clan to set up, he always does it. So I better avoid that tab. There'll be an invite waiting for me. That's what you were thinking. You monster.
No, there's reasons for me not even getting into it, and we'll get into it at some point.
Yeah, I was very upset, but we eventually conversed about it on Twitter. I posted a picture of my character who's turning into the mighty Thor. Pab replied, and I got sassy with him because at this point I figured, oh, Pab's shunned me all week. I'm gonna sass him. That's the only way to respond to shunning is sass. So he replied to my tweet about the mighty Thor, and I just went straight back at him. I was ready, straight back at him. Oh, didn't realise you were even playing, Pab, because you've not accepted your invite from a week ago yet. Mm-hmm. And then he didn't reply to that, but the next time I logged in, he was part of the clan. So he got the message. Sass pays off, as usual. When in doubt, sass. And that was my story of how Pab joined the Diablo 4 clan.
You're a monster, though, Pab. A monster. It's a big feature to miss out. So does it mean you can play together now? You run around doing stuff, or do you just collect clan points?
So cool. Let's just talk about it now because I love this game. It is so much fun. It is always online, and you are always in an online world, and there's always other humans around you. But it's not like it's just this massive free-for-all where everyone's in there all the time. I guess when you load in, you just get a certain instance of it that a certain other number of people are in the same instance as you, and you'll be going around, going about your business, and you'll just come across other people, other real people going about their business. And so you can kind of team up with them on the fly. There's lots of different events that are going all the way. So you can just be wandering around, and there'll be an event or a dungeon, and you can team up with just random people and do the events and the dungeons with them. Sometimes you'll turn up, an event will be halfway through because other people are already doing it, and you can just join in and steal some of their loot. But you also have the option of partying up with people, as you would in any multiplayer game. and inviting them in or going and joining their game and playing through your missions together. So me and Anna have done that a couple of times this week, where there was a bit that I was stuck on in my single player playthrough. So Anna jumped into my game and we did that together. And then the next night, there was a bit that she was stuck on. So I jumped in and we did that together. We're not the same level, but it cleverly kind of levels to each of the individual players. So Anna's like 4 or 5 levels ahead of me. So we'd be fighting the same baddies, but when she hit them, it would be as if they were her level. When I hit them, it would be as if they were my level. And it kind of keeps it all nicely balanced. So different people of different levels can play together without there being all of the usual problems. And then you get your own allocated loot. So when you open up your loot chest or you get your rewards for doing your missions or enemies dropping stuff, it's unique to you. So you don't have to rush and grab it all first. Everyone gets a little dab of it, but then you can swap stuff between the people that you're playing with. And it's just, as a multiplayer experience, it's just so frictionless and easy. You just go on and the multiplayer just works. You can drop in and drop out of it when you want. Like when I invited Anna in to play with me, she just came in, did my mission, and then she left again. And when she left my party, she was just still... It's not like a loading screen or anything that happens. You're just both still in the same part of the same world, but you're no longer a party and you can just go off your separate ways. And then if you want to party back up again and do some bits together again, you just jump back into the party and redo it, and you can teleport to each other. And it's very well done. I know it worked well on Diablo 3 as well, so it's not like any of this is massively revolutionary and new, but it just works really, really well when it's working. There have been a few moments where the servers in general haven't been working at all. This is the big disadvantage of it being an always online server-based game. Even if you just want to play it in single player, you've got to be online. So if the servers go down, which is an issue we had last night as we're recording this, where me and Anna were playing together, and then I left her party and it wouldn't let me play single player. It just crashed me and chucked me out of the game. And we had like 5 minutes of Anna being able to carry on, but me not being able to log in. And then it chucked her out and all the servers went down for everybody. And servers were down for everybody for a good couple of hours last night. And when that happens, you can't play at all. But that aside, the multiplayer side of it works really, really well. This is exactly how I want multiplayer to be. I'm not competing with other people. People aren't owning me and making me look silly, but we just team up when we need to, help each other out when we need to. And it just works really, really well. And then the game itself is just awesome. It's just Diablo. I think because I have the untrained eye, I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell if you just walked me into a dark room, set me up with a game and didn't tell me what it was. I wouldn't be able to tell you with absolute certainty whether it was Diablo 3 or Diablo 4 I was playing. There might be little graphical updates. I'm sure Pab will tell me frame rates are different and things like that. Maybe they can fit more baddies on the screen at the same time on the new one, because the screen does get full and hectic at times, and it doesn't slow down, it doesn't lag, it works, and it's very, very clever. But it's just basically more of the same. I'm enjoying it so much, I'm actually doing side missions, which I never do. But I've played this for probably 10 or 12 hours now, which is a lot for 1 week for me. I'm about 10 or 12 hours in, and I've still, the only main quest that I've done is the one you have to do at the start. Since then, I've just been going off and doing side quests, and I'm enjoying hunting down all the side quests, unlocking all the different strongholds and little portal things and different little settlements around the map. And I'm having a lovely old time just hanging out in this world. I love Diablo. I've owned Diablo 3 on every device I have, and I'm sure I'll end up buying this one on every device I have as well, because I want to play it all the time because it's really, really cool. And Anna, I know you've now made it to the end of the first act, haven't you? So you've got through all of the side. Have you done all of the side quests, or did you just decide to jump onto the main?
No, I've done all the side quests in that area. I've done all the main.
So do you move on to a different area once you've done the first act? Then a different place?
I don't know, because even though I'd done that area, there were still dungeons that I hadn't done. So dungeons don't count.
Because that is one thing where it does differ a lot from Diablo 3, I think. The area you're in is much bigger than the area you would get for an act in Diablo 3. And it felt like there was less time passed before you'd move on from one place to another place and then get another set of quests. This area is just huge. But yeah, I'm loving it.
It's missing some features from the number 3 though. Like you can't have companions. You yes, I have 3 dogs with me, but that's because that's a power. In 3,
I have 3 beardy Vikings with me.
Yeah,
but my powers, they're great.
In number 3, you would have like the barbarian or the thief or that lady that did magic. There's none of that in it, which I miss a bit. There's no like, there is passive powers, but you can only pick one. There's just a few bits and bobs that I'm like with the gems. Like you could at the moment, I can only make like the basic gems. Like you get 3 chipped ones, and then you can make like a better
smooth circular one.
So in third, you'd make like splendid diamonds and glitter.
Is part of that because of the fact we're playing on toddler difficulty? Because I know that's why we don't get the really good weapon drops. Or is that a case of having to level up a little bit?
Maybe after level, but like in 3, you would go to the blacksmith and you would level him up so he could make better weapons. There's none of that. There's no transmogging. Is that what you lot used to do with different colours and
transmog? Yeah.
Yeah. There's none of that in it at the moment.
There is.
Is there? Like where?
Yeah. So, if you were say on your character screen and you looked at an item that you would potentially either sell or scrap, or an item that you're not wearing, at the bottom, normally at the bottom of it, it says dismantle to retain the transmog or something like that. If you sell all your gear, if you sell all your stuff, you don't get to transmog into that outfit or whatever it is. If you dismantle it, like a blacksmith or whatever, you then get to keep it, and then you go into your wardrobe at an inn or wherever it is you go. There's usually like an inn or something like that, I think. You can then customise your character, and that's where you can transmog.
Okay.
Or you can just buy loads of fancy costumes from the shop.
Oh, I don't like the shop. It's very expensive. But I used to like that woman where you could have different colours, and you could just be like, Kevin would be like this pink flamboyant whatever Kevin
it's all
was.
in there.
Oh, okay.
It's
Maybe I just haven't like explored that bit. But like, I don't know. I like the setting of 3 more. Like you would have, like the first area was like all like a wood and like dark and just whatever, and then you would go to the second, like you're in a desert, and then you'd be like in.
That's what I mean. I think that will happen in this one. We're just not out of the first act.
Yeah, but I'm level 36, and I haven't left the first.
That's
level.
because we've spent all week doing side quests. Maybe everyone had just got on with the story.
But I like side quests.
No, I know, but that's why it's taken so long to get out of this geographical area. I think there's a lot more of the map to go and discover.
Well, yeah, like you
can't
got
there yet.
Like
it's a bigger game for sure.
Yeah, like I haven't got a horse yet, and I've done Act 1.
Yeah, that's annoying. The horse. I looked this up. Apparently, you don't get the horse until Act 3.
Yeah.
But that was the big pre-order perk, and I'm not going to get it till like August.
Why don't you just push through to Act 3 and then double back to all your side quests on a horse?
Oh, I guess I could.
Can you fight on a horse?
No.
But you can travel around on the horse, can't you?
I
It
guess.
makes it quicker to move around the map.
But like, there is like some good things. Like there's like shortcuts that you can take, and you can like put. I don't know if you could do this in 3, that you can just like add gems as soon as you get like a piece of weaponry that needs a gem. You can just do that on the fly. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just need to play 4 a bit more. Like I am enjoying it. Like I said, me and Kev have been playing it every night. I wanted some of the 3 things left.
I think a lot of the extra stuff is going to come in once the seasons start, because they don't start until it's like a month, 6 weeks after the release of the game. I think the first season begins. And that was when 3 started to really throw content at you. It was when they started doing the seasons thing, wasn't it?
Well, it was like you could send people presents. You can't really do that in this. I think you would get like characters that had killed other characters, and you would kill them, and then they would get like a prize, and you would get a prize.
But you don't need to send presents in this, because you can just jump into their game and hand it to them.
Yeah, but if they're not on when you're not on, say you're in England and they're in America, like...
they should probably move.
But no, it's fun. Like, so yesterday, everyone went down. Everything went down. I was tracking it through the evening. Like, I was up to about 1. And it was looking at, like, people were getting, like, 420 minutes, which is about 7 hours. They updated it last night, and I went on it today, and it's working. The update is already in there, and it's working again. But yeah, it went down for every single person last night. It just went nope and completely fell over. But this is what you get with these online games. Every online game, especially Diablo, because it does sell really well. It fell over itself a little bit, so never mind. But it works, and I'm playing it, and I'm just playing around with, because like I'm playing a druid, and the first thing with a druid, right, there is someone in the game that looks like me. Like, normally when you play all these games, they're all men, or they're thin, and they don't wear a lot of clothing, like they're scantily clad. I'm playing a druid. She is like a hefty woman. Like she is solid. You know what I mean? She is there, and it's like, oh, it's quite nice.
Poor girl.
Well, no, you know what I mean. There's someone that looks like a little bit like I am. I'm not skinny or anything like that, and it's just like, yeah, it's nice to see that they're taking that stance. But like there's all, like, obviously, what are you? You're
I'm a barbarian, and I've got a 6-pack.
See what I mean? So it's quite nice. And then, like, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, it's just nice to see that. And I've now have 3 like wolves, and that's what I was gonna say. So I'm a druid. So I've got. At the moment, I'm very, like, spells, so I've got a lot of lightning going on. But you can play as, like, a werewolf. Like, there's all these different morphs that you can do. So there's, like, a wolf and a bear. So I could go down the magic way, or the morphing way, or I think there's, another one, like, earthy kind of, like, spikes from the floor. But that's just one class, and you've got all these different, like, routes you can go down. That it's not just that that's all you can do. So like, I haven't played the other one, so like in sorcery, maybe it's not just like spells, maybe there's different ones, and you've got a rogue, and maybe that's not just like hit, like backstabbing and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how these other ones can like transform into different things. So I was thinking, oh, druid, not gonna have like spells, but I wanted the dogs. But I have the dogs, I have spells, I have like crows that come down, I have this like green like tendrils come out and keep people in place, and I can hit them with like my crows because they go in a circle, and then I can light them all up with my storm. It's like there's so many ways, and you have to like remember so many fingers. But yeah, I can't wait to finish this one and then go on to the next one, because like at the moment all classes are open. You don't have to just like because I think in the last one, Necromancer, that you had to wait for it and then you had to pay for it. At the moment they're all free, and the store, I've been on there, I want to buy stuff, but I don't think it should have microtransactions, because
it's just cosmetic,
yeah.
Isn't it? It's just cosmetics. So there's nothing on there you actually need to go.
No,
and
no,
get, but
I just want.
if you want to throw a little bit of extra money in, it's cool. But considering we've bought 3 copies of this game, 2 of them on the pre-order already, we probably shouldn't spend any more money on it just yet. We're like £250 deep on this game already.
Yeah, I need to send that other one back.
Yeah, Anna got... I think we talked about this on the podcast briefly last week. I got the early access one because I love it. Anna just ordered the standard edition, so she couldn't play it this time last weekend. I think she got to Saturday before she cracked and got the pre-order one as well, and then the disc one still arrived on Tuesday. So yeah, we've currently got 2 digital copies and 1 disc copy of the game, and yeah, we do need to send that one back, definitely.
We have another week to send it back, so I'll get on that.
This time next week we'll be announcing the Diablo 4 giveaway.
I will send it back. I just I forget it's there because I'm playing.
Narrator, she didn't send it back.
So,
Pabby, you've been playing this as well, haven't you?
You want to know why I didn't even... I've not looked at the
Is
clan.
it because you're a coward?
No, it's not. Well, one, it just didn't seem like something... I feel like you'd have pinged me immediately and said, get on this, and nothing. And I didn't see, like, there's like a little exclamation point type thing, or there's something like to say, look at this tab, this clan tab. And I assumed it was just the start of the game going, this is the clan tab. You can do this, you can do that. I didn't realise it was, this is the clan tab and you've got a message in there, sort of, you've got an invite. I just assumed it was them saying, here, look at this tab, because all the rest of them I'd look at that as well at the set initially, when it was just like, here's the map and here's this and here's that, you know what I mean? But the main reason is, I don't know, I have been so, like, I don't know whether to start again.
Hi, Pappy.
I'm playing Sorcerer.
Uh-huh.
And you start off and I'm like, I spent a lot of time playing Hogwarts this year. Why am I doing this? Because it's like the exact same thing. I'm like, why have I ended up with this? And it's just lots of me flicking a wand around and zapping people with stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if I like this. I'm waiting for it to come good. And I'm like level, 19 now? And I'm like, I'm the same boat as you. I feel like I've done like 1 main quest, and then it's like side quest, because it just throws them at you. And I get lost in them. I realised the other day I'd done 3 side quests while on the way to another side quest that I was going to.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I
you
had
do.
one thing where there's a priest, and I eventually went to see this priest, and when I went to speak to him, I had conversation points for 4 different quests for this one guy. It was like, well, I guess I'm doing 4 quests at once then, coming to see you.
Yeah, I just went back into town, and it was like, there's an icon. I was like, oh, it's another side quest. And he went, oh, no, you're ending it in. Oh, I didn't even realise I'd taken a quest off you. It's been that long since I've been here. I thought you were a new person for me to take a quest from. I didn't realise I was handing one in. So I literally handed 3 in at the same time as trying to find the next quest in the little village. So I'm not that far. There's like urgent quests as well. I think there's like main quests. Like I think they call them like urgent quests and side quests. And urgent quests are something like that. It's a second set of quests down from main quests. It's called something like urgent quests or something like that.
They're like the tutorial quests, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Are they the ones?
And they are the ones that give you like things that kind of help in your abilities. I was literally told, like, I said, oh, I've got all these quests, and he was like, I said, what's it? I said, like, what's the difference between urgent quests and side quests? And he went, urgent quests are what you should do.
Yeah, they're urgent.
They unlock abilities and stuff for you in the game. I was like, and there was one about a sorcerer one, and I was like, and he went, do that now, because that will change how you feel. So I started doing that yesterday. I managed to get on, like I say, accept the clan invite, and started doing that quest. And I got kicked out. and then I booted it back up again, and then it wouldn't let me on at all. And then I got back in again for 5 minutes, and then it kicked me out again. And I went, right, that's it. That's a sign. That's a sign. It's not happening. So I just didn't go on it again. So I'm going to persevere. I'm going to complete the urgent quests and see where I feel I am with it. Because I am so close to the start, even though I've probably played not a million miles away from what you've played, probably, Kev, maybe a bit less. Probably about 10 hours maybe, but even though I have done that, I'm not, in the grand scheme of things, that far in. So I might start again. I don't know, because I was like, I looked at a video. I did the stupid thing of looking at videos of which class you want to be before it came out, and I was like, I don't know.
I just picked the one where you get to whack people with a big stick.
See, I always gravitate towards physical attacks. But so in my brain, I'm a ranged character. But I always find myself, when I pick a ranged character, I always want to get up close and do physical attacks. And I don't know what that is about me. I'm like a sorcerer with the mind of a barbarian. I just want to attack. well, that's the thing. I was like, I kind of wanted to be a druid, and I was like, I kind of like the necromancer as well. And I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then, so I think I'm just going to stick with what I am, and if I have to, I'll start again. Or I'll just create a different character, because you probably have multiple characters, can't you? So I could just keep flicking between them.
And there's certain progress that moves between the different characters as well. So you get the stuff that you unlock in the different regions. You actually get a little bit of a boost when you start a second character, because you'll have already unlocked some stuff with your first one.
Right. Cool. Yes, that sounds about right. But yeah, I enjoyed what I'm playing. So for me, I feel like the differences between this and 3, it's a lot. See, a lot of people said it's a lot more like Diablo 2, and I can kind of see that. It's a lot darker, I feel like, as in like physically darker in places. I think it's a lot more. I think there's a lot more. I don't know what the word is. It's a lot more glum to me. It's a lot more brown tones for me, and lot more. But
Well,
then
put
again,
colourblind mode on. Everything's pink.
Yeah.
When I play it.
I also, like I say, I'm still realizing I'm only in the first area. I don't know. It could be completely different, but it's a lot of snowy wandering around, and caves and dungeons that are all very browns
Boring.
browns and golds, and not really a lot. It's I don't know. It just seems a lot more. I don't know. I feel like the 3 had a lot more vibrance to it about the colours, but then I think that's the oppressive nature of what the game is, so isn't it as well? It's meant to be a bit like an oppressive by nature.
Hell is taken over, basically.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
So... It's supposed to be a bit dark and not gothic, but yeah, that's kind of what I feel about it. Yeah, I'm not.
But like you said, you're only 10 hours in, so you've not been in other areas.
Nope. I literally I've been to like the main towns and caves and a lot of snowy tundra.
Yes.
That's about it.
Yes.
That's about it. And yet I still want to play more whenever I can. It's very good. It's very good at doing that. And there is cross-play, complete cross-play, cross save.
Okay.
So if you should say you're playing it now on your PlayStation 5, and you then got it on the PC, for example, you could just log in and it would bring all your save stuff over.
That's ridiculous.
So you could do all that stuff again. So
EA need to listen and do this with FIFA. This would be game changing. I would love that.
Yeah. Well, then they wouldn't make any money out of you then, would they, Kev?
Well, I don't think I'm typical. Not everyone buys all 3 copies. I'd spend more on points if I didn't have to buy 3 copies of the game.
You still
They'd get the money out of me the same way.
Yeah. So that's good. So I feel like at some point we could play at some point. Especially now that Discord's on PlayStation and what have you. So we could jump into Discord and I could join your game or vice versa, and we could actually play all together seamlessly. I think I've never done it, but it's, from what I've seen, it seems pretty straightforward. Especially now that we're all in the same clan. Finally.
Is Sheepdog not playing this then?
I haven't got a PS5, have I? So I haven't got a PC.
But you've got an Xbox.
You haven't got a PC?
It's on PS4.
I didn't say I haven't
as well.
got a PC, Pab. Clean your ears out. I just said I haven't got it on PC.
Ah. You should.
Why?
I haven't played the first 3, so
You didn't
don't-
play.
they're not-
You
I've
I've
didn't
not
play
played the first
3.
2.
Wow. You're missing out, Sheepdog.
It's not like a sequential where it's required.
no, I know. I know. I just haven't played
I
it.
don't want you to think you
I said to you last week,
free
I've literally never even seen gameplay of it. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what the game's like. I know nothing about Diablo.
Interesting.
Just hasn't
Yeah.
ever.
You've not seen the ARPG genre then?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The action RPG, like the kind of top down.
The thing is, when you search Diablo, it only ever shows like screenshots of. I
Screenshots
mean,
of
I've
the
just done it now.
cutscenes.
There's just a picture of the Diablo. I don't know.
Lilith.
He's a woman with wings,
Lilith. Yes.
and yeah. So yeah, no idea. I
What
just
would you Google? I don't know. Put something like Diablo for GUI, graphical user interface, something like that. See if it'll show you like the screen, like just the screen with all like the with the hot bar and your mana pool and your
And even Kev plays it.
health bar.
And I know
And
you're
even
a Final Fantasy person, so you would get this in an instant. Oh, I'm so
This
surprised.
isn't anything like
I was gonna
Final
say it's
Fantasy,
not
sure.
like
No,
Final
but
Fantasy, is
the like with the hot
The
bar
RPG
and
elements.
stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I mean.
As in,
Yeah, when I
you'd-
played,
you'd
I told you,
have-
no, I had to go on 3 before, and all I did was some woman kept telling me to set something up, and I never actually got anywhere. So I haven't played it. I played it for like half an hour, but I couldn't actually get into any game. So I was like, screw this. I don't even know where I got that. I don't know where I got. I don't think I've got it on Steam or anything like that.
Sheepdog stole it.
Might have been. Was it ever on like PS Plus or anything like that?
Probably.
I don't know. You know, it's a
Possibly.
Blizzard, isn't it?
The Blizzard one, so it'd be on Battle.net if you did have it. I'm wondering if at some point we gave away codes at MGPX or something like
Well,
that.
he nicked one because he's a monster.
Yeah.
I didn't have a habit of
Possibly.
nicking stuff from MGPX. That was you
Oh,
I've still got my Football Manager doormat now. Love it.
and your songbird.
Yes, absolutely. Look, perks of the job.
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's
the
all
fact
right.
is, he did order that, and then they cancelled his order, so he was just
Exactly.
recuperating.
I deserved that.
Well
I was owed
done.
that by the
That's the swag I
universe.
supplied him. Yeah, that's all good. I didn't mind at the time. I only bring it up now for a laugh. But no, it always comes out at a time when I'm like, I'm not spending 40 quid on a game that I've no knowledge or
40,
interest
yeah.
in.
Yeah,
I know. Well, I
£40,
just looked it up.
bless your
I looked it
cotton
up.
socks.
It's you can get it for 32 from TGO, whoever the hell they are.
They sound legit.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
The gamer outlet.
They were the first that came up on the list on Google, and then as does 57. Yeah, okay, there's much higher. Yeah, I'm not dropping 60 quid in a game that I have no knowledge or interest in.
I mean, you don't want to join a party with us and
Not really.
Yeah, we're cool. We are the cool
Ain't
kids.
got
Come and
time.
hang out with the cool kids. You got all the time in the world. Make time.
But you're enjoying
Well,
it.
that's-
As good as it.
It is. It's great. It's Diablo 4. You should go and play it. And then, I mean, it basically gives you the opportunity to be the opposite of Sheepdog, which is what I know you all really want. So, Pab's now going to whack a little advert in, and then you lot can talk about other games, because that's literally all I've played this week. Good advert, Pabby. Now you lot go about your business while I continue to rearrange my iPad home screen, which is what I've been doing for the last few minutes.
You did buy some board games, Kevin.
Oh, of course, we went to the UK Games Expo, didn't we?
We did.
And had a little bit of a mooch around that. We've not played any of them yet, so just very quickly, there's a video out on my YouTube channel if you want to see what we got up to. But we bought the Dwarf Romantic board game. So
nice.
it's loosely video game linked, but apparently it's been nominated for one of the Board Game of the Year awards. It's playable for 1 to 4 players, so there is a 1-player version of it. But it's me and Anna are going to hopefully crack it out over the weekend and have a go on the Dwarf Romantic board game. But I got the Stardew Valley board game last year and haven't opened that yet. So this is what I do when I go to the Board Game Expo. I just buy them and then put them in a cupboard. I got the Ted Lasso board game as well, which is a 15-20 minute quick play board game from Funko. So I got that one as well. Anna very nearly got into Fallout miniatures and things. Very slippery slope for her. Yeah, exactly. Fallout version of Warhammer. She was so close, but managed to resist. And was there anything else notable that we saw? There was a lot of video game tie-in things there, wasn't there?
That Disney.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, the Disney Pokemon TCG thing. What's it called? Lorcana. Oh, we talked about it a little bit at Comic-Con.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was.
Oh god, it's basically Pokemon TCG but with Disney characters.
Really?
We came home and spent a lot of money pre-ordering this stuff. It doesn't release until August. Me and Anna have ordered a lot of it.
The name of their world being Lorcana made me laugh. That's just like story world, isn't it? Like, welcome to Lorcana. It's lazy.
Well, it's sold out everywhere, and it's exactly the same principle as Pokemon TCG.
It was
you can buy your big booster boxes, you can buy your little Elite Trainer boxes.
The art looked cool.
You can buy your we've ordered all of the preset decks. You can get your play mats and your dice boxes and your deck boxes and your card sleeves, and they're going all in on this. It is a new trading card game, and I love a trading card game. And the fact that Anna was interested in this one, she wanted to go and queue up to do the play test of it, but the queue was massive. I've never seen a board
game that needed you to line. The line was massive.
Yeah, it was. There was. It was the most popular thing I'd ever seen at one of these events. People were going nuts over it. This is going to be huge. It's sold out everywhere. This is going to be a big deal. So brace yourselves for that, boys and girls. Hopefully there'll be like a iPad app version of it so I can play it online, because with Pokemon, I've got loads of cards that I've collected, but I only ever play it on my iPad. I don't ever play with the physical cards. So
how many of
I need to be able to do that.
How many of these Disney boxes are you burying in your storage off the bat unopened for the next 20 years?
Oh, we talked about that. We've got at least a couple that are going to go into storage, because me and Anna had this exact conversation. The original like first phase Pokemon boxes are like 60 grand now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're definitely putting a box of this away.
How much were them ones that we saw at Comic-Con? They were like 18 grand a box.
Yeah, there was a 25 grand one.
Like,
yeah.
Who just casually strolls around Comic-Con and goes, "I'll have one of them, please"?
Well,
yeah, I know it's mad.
I think they want you to see it and go, "Oi, mate, like, you know, we need to have a conversation. I'll give you 15, and then you negotiate and you meet up later or something."
It was just strange.
But the important thing is we've got a couple of booster boxes that we'll open and a couple that are going in the storage unit, because just in case. I mean, there's obviously no guarantees, but it's 120 quid for a booster box. So for 250 quid to be able to stick a couple of these in the storage unit and forget about them for 20 years, they've got to be worth more than 250 quid in 20 years' time. It's Disney. All Disney stuff increases in value.
When you two go missing at sea and I'm helping your daughters tidy up the house, I'll offer them 200 quid to clear the garage out. You're going to have to very much make a list and explain to them the value of things, because I can see those girls just saying, "Do you know what? Let's just sell the contents at a boot sale. You know, we'll make a few bob out of it." Jesus. I'll be there with my...
Oh, yeah. Me and Anna have... Because I'm having my surgery on Monday, me and Anna have had the conversation of, look, if I do die on the table... my Pokemon cards are worth 10 grand. Please don't throw them away. There's £10,000 worth of Pokemon cards there.
I got my bag of 20p's ready. Don't you worry. I'll look after her. Just gonna ransack it. To be fair,
God.
you're gonna lose track of what's in there. I'm soon gonna figure out a little plan. I might start digging a hole.
I have an app that keeps full inventory of it and shows the value on a day-to-day basis. I've got a little bar chart and everything.
I'm assuming it's not the
Shows how
garage
the value of...
that I park at, is it?
No.
No,
No.
it's in my. In my storage unit.
I was going to say,
not
otherwise,
at
every
home.
best thing from I'm going to get out a little shovel and just dig a tiny hole, and then over the next sort of few years.
I'm not mad enough to keep it all at home.
No, I was going to say that would have been wild, especially with me reversing towards it. I'd have been definitely reversing up your driveway a bit slower than I have been.
No, it's not here, because that would be dangerous, and we don't have access to it. So, do we, Kevin?
This is true.
So I
This way, I don't have to worry about the house flooding. That's the important thing. Carry on.
you have to worry about. I was going to say I've actually played. I'm going to segue because of cards are kind of linked to this game, but I've been playing Marvel Midnight Suns at long last. I think I got it for Christmas. I hope it's only been that long. I mean, 6
But it's
months.
June.
But I know. For Christmas, I got that. I got. I can't even remember what else I got. I got basically 3 games, and Ollie got maybe 4. And I've only played 2 of them. My plan was to play them all immediately and rinse through them, but I haven't got around to it. So, yeah, Midnight Suns, it's very good. I've got it on the PC. I can't remember if it's on other things. I think it must be on.
Yeah, it's on.
on everything.
Consoles, yeah.
Everything. I think it's even on Switch.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it's XCOM with Marvel, effectively, and it's got a very much a sort of Mass Effect style. You walk around, you have conversations with people, you can be nice to them, you can be mean to them, your relationships build with them, you can end up having an affair with the people and so forth. My main problem with it is I'm streaming it and there is far too much conversation where I'm sat there going, do I just skip through this because I want the stream to continue and not be boring, and I have to sit and watch it because I need to know what's going on. I skipped one. I literally just pressed escape and then everyone was like, I can't even put into words what we just saw. I can't believe what just happened. We'll never see an event. And I was thinking, oh God, I've completely missed out whatever that was. Like, I shouldn't have skipped that if they can't even describe it. But yeah, the missions themselves are great. Like going to an area and having like a demon venom with horns fighting me, and then Spider-Man swooping in and joining in and fighting and everything. It was really good fun. The battle systems, kind of like the XCOM style, you pick your move and you make sure you're in the right place, and you can either knock back or you can do a quick attack or you can, cause different types of damage, but you're doing it by picking cards from a deck. You can swap some of your cards. You can only move so many times around the level space. You can say this card's not very good to get rid of it, or you can start powering up a hero card to get bigger damage done. So like Ghost Rider whipped out a car and just mowed through everybody. And I just thought, why didn't you do that sooner? I know he has to build up his power, but like he could have still driven the car pretty slowly through a Hydra captain or whatever, and probably done a bit of damage. If he's got access to a car, just start mowing people down with it. It's quick. But no, it's very cool. Very much enjoying it. Seeing all of the characters in their more comic styles, although Blade looks exactly like
Blade.
Well, to be fair, it's more a case of Wesley Snipes is very good for the character that they did of Blade. It's very accurate to that and very cool. I learned on my stream that he's been in prison for a few years for tax evasion. I didn't know that. I was like, why isn't he going to be the new one?
Oh, yeah.
It turns out,
You don't know, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, whoops, I need to pay more attention to the news. That's obviously on the same sort of websites where they show Diablo gameplay, and I just miss it all because I'm not on that part of the internet, apparently. But, yeah, no, loving it. I'm really into it. I have found there's a lot of side missions to be doing, and I'm going to probably start doing them in my own time and then doing the story missions on stream so that I can actually get the most out of it, because I can't decide if it's a stream game at this point. I feel like I'll see how it goes, if people are enjoying it and that kind of thing. It feels like I need to pay attention to it and think about it and whatever, and maybe I'm not doing it justice, but it's been very fun. I've enjoyed it. I also got into a weird... So I remember talking about this, especially during lockdown and so forth. I got obsessed with trying to complete the Pokedex on Pokemon Home, and I spent like months trying to get them all and all of this. I realised, so they updated Pokemon Home the other day to let you sync it with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and all of that. And I moved everything across. And then I discovered that there happens to be like a a part of the dex that gives you all of the forms that are available. So as well as having a Pokemon, you can get all the different forms that, like, it comes in different variants. And there's apparently 1,423 different variants of all the Pokemon. So when I discovered this at the weekend, I had like 250 to get, and I was like, I'm not having that. That's too many. I can't. My pride. I thought I had done it all. I'm down to the last 18 as of right this moment, and I've been obsessed with this week. I can't help it. I don't know what's got into me. It's like it was my distraction. I was feeling I've had a bit of a ridiculous week, like, just non-stop nonsense. And so whenever I was getting a bit fed up, I just would sit there doing trades and evolving stuff and trying to find stuff and whatever it was, just whatever the puzzle was to figure out to get this variant. Every single one of them have had this like convoluted way I've got to do it, which is why I don't already own it and that kind of thing, which has been fun because it's added more mileage to the old Shield game, which I've had to replay. I've still got to get another 20 odd out of that I missed in all the time. I've played that game through like 6 times and somehow I don't have all of the Gigantamax forms, and I had to go and learn how that even worked. I didn't even know how it worked until just now. I found I didn't have a form that I have an email giving me the code for the form, but the code no longer works, and I'm sat there thinking, why on earth did I apply for this special code and then never use it? I'm an idiot, but I'll figure that out. But while I was also doing that, you were talking about what did Kev say earlier about if you've got a problem with someone, antagonise them, be rude to them, push them. I've been doing that with Niantic this week. I can't remember if I told you lot, but I might have put it on Twitter. I can't remember. So I nominated the space outside my house that is basically a park area to be a Pokestop, and it got approved. And I was like, oh, here we go. And I was told it was going to become a gym. And then the one down the road from my house became a gym, and I got a Pokestop at my house. So Monday, I got the alert telling me it was going to happen. Tuesday morning, it appeared. All of Tuesday, I sat there spinning this stop, putting lures on it, having the time of my life. And then all day Wednesday, I was playing on it. And then Wednesday night, it disappeared. And the gym's still there, but the stop's gone. So I messaged Niantic being like, what's going on? Where's my stop gone? And they were like, it doesn't meet our criteria. I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't meet our criteria? It's a park. Like, it's a picture of a park with a bench and a tree and green. Like, I can see other stops like in the distance that are identical to it. And they're like, yeah, no, it just doesn't meet our criteria. So I've been going back and forth via email with various different people, ranging from like, they've all got like fake names where I'm just like, this is probably not them. But I am something like 15 emails deep now with them. Like, it was Yuri, then it was Carter with a K, and then it was Nick, and then it was a lady. I can't remember what her name was. I'm just scrolling through trying to find it. But anyway, Carter randomly said to me, oh, it's without the owner of the property it's on, or the housing association that own the land, we can't approve it. And I replied, well, I happen to be the owner of the property it's in front of, so I could deal with that. Then what do you need from me? And then Carter didn't reply, but Nick replied going, my apologies for my colleague's email. Unfortunately, it doesn't meet our criteria. And I was like, Nick, go back 12 emails. You've already told me that line. You've already sent me that stock email. Please move forward in your process to where Carter below was, where they've explained to me that I need to either get the president of the housing association, which, I mean, to be fair, there is a private association thing that I could probably go and talk to and get them to tick it, because the houses opposite have that weird thing set up. But yeah, I'm just now trying to convince them. I may have to draft some fake document to say I'm the president of the Sheepdog Housing Association to get this damn thing returned. But I am not giving in. I've been fighting them. And it got to the point where my last email was very sassy, because they were like, oh, as per my last email. And I was like, well, as per 15, 13, 11, 9... 7 emails ago, I've already been through this with you, Nick. So that's been jolly good fun. The last thing that has sunk tons of my time this week is I'm very annoyed with myself because I learned a stupid lesson about 3DSs. I wanted to get Yokai Watch 3 for Ollie. I did this ages ago, but when I got him the game, it didn't fit on a DS. It's too big for a DS. Even though they offer it as a download, it's too big for a DS. I didn't even know DSs came with memory cards inside them. I've never had this problem. Like, I just happened to be looking at it and was like, oh, okay, that's how they have memory, is it? So I planned to get a bigger one. I finally got a bigger one yesterday, and then today I was like, right, I'll pop that in 64 gig. That'll be more than enough for him. I'll fill that with games. It'll be great. I find straight away that if it's anything over 32, the DS can't handle it. I had a right old rigmarole of trying to format it into FAT 32 and all this nonsense. It took me freaking ages, and Ollie's bouncing around me, asking me 1,000,001 questions about Yoko, and I'm like, Ollie, I don't know. I finally got it working. It honestly took me so long. And then when I went on there, it told me the game wasn't available anymore. And I was like, what the hell? So I had a bit of a breakdown over that. Like, what on earth? Like, I've spent so much time on this. This is ridiculous. Sorry, my voice is getting husky because I'm talking so much. But it turns out it is available. Everything on the shop that you paid for is available. So that has been downloading for like hours. And I'm guessing they've left everything available, but probably only one little router in some warehouse.
Just a tap dripping it out slowly.
Yeah, exactly. So honestly, Ollie sat there watching it. He's probably still watching it now. He's been watching it for hours. I think he started watching TV after about 15 minutes. He realised that he weren't watching this go in all the way. But I said, the moment it's done, you can play it. It's fine. But he's just been watching it. It keeps showing like 4 little sweets come along and then drop into a bucket. And I thought that is probably... It's probably how quickly it's actually installing. That's probably bytes. But yeah, no, he's excited. It's got a lot of space and he'll be able to fill it up with games. But yeah, I can't believe how convoluted that was. You think they'd have done a patch just to say, oh yeah, it can handle bigger memory cards as it got older.
This is what it's like having, I know, like I'm cutting you off, but autistic kids, like with Andy, I've had to find 2007 toys from 2007. Do you know that there's not many of them about? And trying to find them.
Yeah. At Comic-Con, it was like I said to Kev, he's obsessed at the moment in a good way. Like his big focus is Yoko Watch, and he asked me to get him the books for it. And like he wants book 5 at the moment, but it's not available anywhere. And Forbidden Planet had like book 12 or 15 or something, and another shop we went in had book 20, and Amazon doesn't have any of them until you get to a certain point. Well, I've been looking. I mean, I'll have another look now, but I did look. It's just been a nightmare because all of his interests. I mean, I got him into that when it was on Netflix, I think. I didn't realise it was going to be so obscure because that's from like the mid 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
But he's just slowly but surely getting into all these things. And I was like, people are just. He's going to be telling people about his interests, and they're going to be like, "What on earth are you talking about?" But it's cool, it's good. But the amount of times, I'm finding myself having to solve these frigging puzzles just to give him. Like if I want to get him book volumes 5 to 19 in one hit, it's 120 quid. Actually, plus postage. I can spend 150 quid getting them all shipped from America, which I'm not going to do. But oh god, he's just got mad taste, bless him. But that is my week of games and tech and learning new things and so on and so forth. I'm knackered.
Okay. So apart from Diablo, today Kevin handed me a package, but I didn't realise it was coming. I didn't realise it was coming today. It's already out digitally, but I have the. Oh God, Misama Chronicles, MIASMA, Messiah.
Miasma?
There we go. Thank you, because I couldn't work that out in my head. Miasma Chronicles on the PS5. I got it today. I've literally played 40 minutes of it before Kevin started dying on me. And it is post-apocalyptic. Your name is... You look like... Basically, the guy in it is a cross between Tom Holland and Michael J. Fox. That's what he's like. Like, just his mannerisms and the way he looks and the way... That's what I get from him. He has a special glove that his mum gave him. And he has to... He's on version 38 of it because apparently he needs it to get through the... What's it called, Pab?
What
was the name?
Did you say?
Miasma. Yeah, he needs to use his glove to get through it. I don't know what miasma is, but it's everywhere and it's made the world go bad. And it is... It's hold on, it's on the back of it. Join Elvis and Diggs on a quest across the post-apocalyptic wasteland torn apart by the savage force known as miasma. Real-time self meets tactical turn-based combat. And I like these kind of games. It's got
looks a bit XCOM.
Yeah, it's XCOM. It's Wasteland. It's like
Yes.
I've already had one fight. Obviously, you do tutorials, and it was against frogs, like badass frogs that walk around on two legs and know how to shoot a gun. So I'm like, I am all for this. I love, like, obviously, you know, I love post-apocalyptic. I love Fallout. I love that kind of universe. I wouldn't want to live in it, but I like playing it. And yeah, you and Diggs, who is a robot, go around and don't know yet because I have no idea, but it's like top down, not top down. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of Diablo-ish in style. The way it is, like, if you, so the first place I was at, I had to go in a building that was 3 stories high, and every time you go up the stairs, like, the ceiling moves and you can see into that floor, and then when you go outside, the ceiling returns and it all looks like a building. It's all got that. It's got, like, there's advertisement everywhere. Like, there was one advertisement for Cola, and it was reused sugar. Don't know what that is, but I want to find out. And it's just a wasteland, and there's going to be monsters that are animals. There was another game like this. Can't remember what it was called. It was like 2 years ago. Eden something. So it like your characters was a pig and something else. But this time the baddies are like the animals. So yeah, frogs. They don't speak English. They just make a noise, but like they are coherent to themselves, but not to you. But yeah, it's XCOM-y, wastelandy kind of vibe. And I like tactical games because I like turn-based games. Like your Final Fantasies back in the day were turn-based. I like having, like, I think about things like you move around, flanking and all that. Apparently there's going to be people that join you. There's voice record. It's just things that I didn't know I wanted to play. So now I have two games on the go. I thought it was only going to be like Diablo until like 22nd of June when Final Fantasy comes, but now I have this, and obviously I've seen things like on TikTok and YouTube, and I'm like, oh, what is this? But it was only out like download, and I was like, I hadn't seen it on the PlayStation, but they are now on physical copies. I like a physical copy because I like to smell them. So yeah, that came out on physical today. Not sure how much it was, but yeah, if you like XCOM and like, what was the other one? I can't remember. Wasteland. Yeah, it's like that. So yeah, I played 40 minutes, not a lot, so I don't quite know what's going on, but I like how it's like you've got mods that are like from cameras, so you'll use that as like a scope for a longer range on your battlefield. And then there's like treasures, and the first one I found was like a joystick, but they don't know what a joystick is, and they make like funny quips about it. So yeah, that came out today, but that is me. I've not really played Diablo a lot. Lots of Diablo.
Indeed.
Yes.
As have I. I have played, like I said, about 10 hours of Diablo. Last weekend I had no PC. It was in for, fingers crossed, its final bit of work to be done. It's been the construct from hell. But we were quietly confident that this would fix it. It seems to have fixed any issues that I've been having. There is now a new power supply. There's a 1200 watt power supply in there now. We suspect, well, like I say, my previous one was a 750 watt power supply, and we suspect the build was just more power hungry than what the calculators were giving us pretty much. Because it all seemed right in all the calculator things that you'd use online. You'd put all your specs in, and it'd say, "This is how much it's taken out," and you go, "Okay, that's less than 750, so we should be fine." Yeah, so it turns out the stuff that I have in this new system is a bit more power hungry than that. So I went overboard and got a 1200. So that should be all right now. But while I didn't have a PC, I played a lot more Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
I got into the depths. I've been in the depths. I've been rooting around in the depths. I have a new ability.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the new ability from the depths?
Yes.
I have the new ability.
Okay.
It is auto build.
It is.
Auto build is could be a game changer. It lets you. It's like it lets you it saves up to like 25 of your last builds, and then you can recreate them using parts you either find, or you can use Zonite to convert the Zonite into like fans or whatever it is you're trying to build. And then you get like pieces of like a not a plaque, but like whatever it is, you're collecting basically like blueprints of things as well. There are blueprints across the world on these little like tablets, like stone tablets. And people, I think I've got 2 or 3 of them. People would find them and give them to you, and then you've now got like a glider, and you've now got a
Unicycle.
Whatever it was. Yes, and that sort of thing. Yeah. So I've been in the depths. I've still run out of pins on my map. I did the foolish thing of going, I don't know what any of these pins are anymore. I'm taking them off. And then somebody said, "Why don't you just take them off and put a stamp on the map, so at least they're still on the map?" I'm like, I didn't think of that. I've just taken them all off.
Apparently, in the depths where you find the shiny bulbs, above them shiny bulbs is a cave thing.
Oh yeah, that is it's the locate that. So where you turn the lights on underneath it is the location of the shrines. Shrines above ground. Yeah. Yes. Also, if you look at the names of them, it is the name
backwards.
It's backwards. It's a backwards of name of the shrine above it.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of sleuthing around in the dark, looking at. I kept flicking back to the overworld map to go right. There is a shrine here. In theory, there should be a thing here. And then I found myself just running into a wall for a long time in the dark. And then I threw one of them glow bulbs down. And I was like, I'm just running into a wall. There's just a massive mountain here. I can't get up to this. I can't get around it. So I had to work my way around it. And
the further you get in that, the worse it gets. Like,
yep.
Yeah, I had to come out of there.
So I've done that, and I've been getting back on my dailies in Tears of the Kingdom, which is, by dailies I mean unloading all of my amiibo onto it on a daily basis, just to get. I need arrows. I have no arrows, and I've been told I need arrows for the next dungeon. And I was like, I need the arrows to move on now. I need to move on. So every single day I'd go through about 40 amiibos. Just
you
put
have
them on.
40 amiibos. Wow.
Well, no, I have
cards.
I have. Yes.
Okay, I get you.
I have all the Zelda cards. So that's the only one. I'm not going getting. I probably do have 40 amiibos up on the shelf up there, but I'm not taking them all down one at a time and putting them all back, and it just takes forever. So I'm just doing the cards. But what it does do is, like I say, it gives me a lot of random stuff, and I now have about just over 100 arrows. So I think I'm probably like going to be like, okay, this is probably it. I might just do one more trip on the amiibos and then make a move towards it over the weekend. So yeah, I continue to trek on with that. I do like that game a lot. It's fun. It's fun. And the only other thing I have played, I haven't played tons of it because of Zelda, Diablo, Summer Game Fest stuff that's been going on. I've just not had tons of time to do it. I have dabbled on Street Fighter 6. I have done a little dip my toes into Street Fighter 6. And you play. There's like 3 modes in it. It's like World Tour, the Battle Hub, and what's the other one? It is something like Fighting Grounds. Now, from what I can gather, Fighting Grounds just feels like an arcade versus mode sort of thing, and you can do your training and stuff. The Battle Hub is the big multiplayer online thing where you go into like a lobby, and you go in there as your creator character, and you can then just go onto an arcade machine, and someone will sit down across from you. You can fight them, and all that sort of thing. I've not been on that. I've only been playing the World Tour mode. And the World Tour mode starts off with a creator character. You create a character, and that's where I spent the bulk of my time. I spent about an hour just on the creator character alone, and you can create some stuff and you can create some monsters in this game. I've not created a monster. I've not been doing that, but I've seen many strange characters. But I've made a character, and then you go into like a semi-open world. And you are being trained by Luke initially, who's one of the characters from Street Fighter now. And you are trained by him, and then you get all the basics. You learn how to do the basic fighting stuff and what have you. And then you kind of get dropped into this semi-open world, which is kind of like Yakuza. It's kind of like Yakuza.
Okay.
Where you're just you're in Metro City, and there are just people around the map, and you just run up to them, and then you start fighting, and then you go into a Street Fighter fight, and then you're getting XP and money from beating them, and then sometimes you'll have people just run up on you, and then you start a fight, and it's like 3v1 or 2v1 or whatever it is, and you beat them up, and yeah. It's kind of cool, and I've not played much more than pretty much like the opening area sort of thing. So I've just been running around this little Metro City area. But yeah, you've got quests to do, and you've got to go, and the quests generally just mean you go up to someone and fight them, and then you have a cutscene and what have you. But then, like most people, you just kind of go up to them, and then you have a little. They're kind of like little fights. It's not full on Street Fighter fight. You have like a fight, and they have like a small health bar on them, and then you beat that, and then you move on to the next one. But then there's like boss fights, and that's like a proper Street Fighter fight where you have like the overhead health bars like traditional Street Fighter and what have you, and then you beat them up, and then you have like a story cutscene and so on and so forth, and then you learn your moves from your trainers. So you learn. So at the minute I have moves that are Luke's, but then I'm told you go to learn to train under Chun-Li and Ryu and Ken, and then you get to adapt there. You then get to pick certain moves of theirs and put them into your sort of play style. So then you could have like, say, Luke's grapple, the spinning kick from Chun-Li, and maybe a fireball from Ryu or whatever.
You get to mix them up. That's quite cool.
Something like that, yeah. There's obviously there's certain things you can and can't do. You can't just say I'm having the best of all for all of them, because there's only so many slots you can make. You can use to make your build. But what I like about this is that, in theory, you can then take that into the Battle Hub, because not only can you just play, not only is that your character's just in the lobby system, and you can see all the different crazy people have created characters that they've built. There's like a create a character fight mode where you can fight other people's creator characters, and then effectively you're then testing your build out against other people's builds of what they've built, because they're not just like your basic Ken versus Ryu sort of thing. That is in there. You can do that, but like I said, there's so many different modes in that Battle Hub, and there's also in the Battle Hub there are arcade machines, and so there are Capcom arcade machines, and they're saying they're going to rotate them, and there's been like all these different. I think Puzzle Fighter was in there, and Street Fighter 2, and all these old Capcom games, and they're in the actual World Tour mode as well. There's arcades in there, like similar to Yakuza, where you would have an arcade and you can go play all the Sega games.
Yeah.
It's similar to that. You can have there are arcades in there.
That's
But yeah, I'm enjoying what I've played. I wish I'd played more. I really do. But it's just time's been getting away from me, and it's not going to get any easier, I suppose, with all the Summer Games Fest stuff. I mean, it's a good job that I've got the next week off of work, so I've got time to do stuff. Probably won't, but
yeah.
But yeah, there's tons of Summer Game Fest stuff going on at the minute, so we shall see. But I definitely want to play more of it and get into trying to play Street Fighter, because it's getting a lot of good scores and reviews at the minute, and it seems to be quite popular. So I'd like to get in there and play that, as well as more Diablo, more Tears of the Kingdom, and probably whatever else there is that's coming out at the minute.
It's coming out, yeah.
It's like non-stop at the
You
minute.
don't want much, do you? Goodness me.
I know. But yeah, that is probably it from me.
Well, I believe that brings us to the end of the episode then, unless I've not been paying attention. Have I been paying attention correctly?
Yeah, you're all good.
Magic. Well, in that case, if you want to be able to follow us on the internet, you can do that at Mgukpodcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
And you can find me at RB6K.
I miss Lelujo.
And I'm at Pab 1986.
And we will see you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Toodle pip.
Thanks for listening, folks.